I just had a thought run across my mind about drama that happened between me and another person a few years ago regarding an inspiration problem, and I felt like ranting about it 3 years later because now I'm in a more mature mental state to deal with it or just like revisit the idea of this whole thing. So I wanted to rant about it. Please don't start any drama, anyways. It was just something that came across my mind and I wanted to rant about it. So here we go. So this is all based off of memory, but back in December of 2020, somebody made a rant video about me accusing me of having an inspiration problem, which I find so funny now is because at the time I was a 12-year-old kid who had nothing to base my art off of. Like, I was a brand new artist, especially when it came to digital art. And just so happened I liked watching Sashley at the time. So I was like, oh, I really like her art style. I like the way she animates. I like this and this. And I took aspects of it and incorporated it into my own. Now, granted, I did quite base my art off it like very heavily, but at the time, I don't think it was a problem. Like, I don't see it as a problem at all. Like, I was 12. I was basing my art off of something, so I had something to go off of. I was also accused of tracing hands, which I will full-heartedly admit that I did. It was my own hands. I took pictures of my own hands and traced them because I struggled with drawing hands. Then again, like, I was 12. I was brand new. What was I supposed to do? I had no idea. And I was doing it for anatomy practice. Like, I wanted to learn how hands were drawn, so I traced my own hands. And see, that isn't a problem. They said it was a problem, and at the time I full-heartedly believed it, but now looking back, tracing my own hands for anatomy practice was far from a problem. I was learning. And now I can actually kind of draw hands thanks to that tracing that I did. Now, I'm not saying go out, trace others' art. Like, if you need anatomy practice, like, I took pictures of my own, like, myself and traced that because I knew I wasn't stealing from someone else. I was using my own body for my personal art benefit. So honestly, it worked out. I would also like to mention something funny. At the time, I was going by they, them pronouns, and the person making the video on me deliberately called me she, her pronouns the entire video. Not one they, them pronoun. She, her. And I go by she, they now. So now it wouldn't be a problem. Like, the she aspect I'm okay with, but at the time I was not. And I had also put it in my YouTube bio that, hey, I use they, them pronouns. And the person didn't care enough to check to see if I used they, them pronouns and just misgendered me the entire video. It was, at the time, it really hurt. But now it's just funny because now I realize how stupid that entire video was. Because it was like, inspiration problem. You have too much inspiration. I wasn't stealing Sash's art. I just based my art style off of hers, which isn't a problem. I've seen other people do it, and it's not a problem because people express their art in different ways. Like, I express my art through cartoony furries, and I really liked Ash's art style. So I kind of like took aspects of her art style and incorporated it into mine, and it improved my art as a person because now I have my own very like iconic art style that is very bubbly, cartoony characters, and it's because of the inspiration I incorporated into my own art, and it really helped along the way. So if you are ever accused of having an inspiration problem, that heavy inspiration is bad, like, of course, check to see if the artist is okay with it, unlike what I did, but it greatly helped my personal art journey. Like, I'm 15 and I have my own art style, but of course I see things from like animes or cartoons that I really like, and I incorporate it into my personal art style, and it just slowly changes, and it's okay. If you're a beginner artist watching this, tracing is a-okay, especially if it's for anatomy practice and art practice. Just don't steal things and pass it off as your own. That's plagiarism, and that's bad. Alright, this rant is getting long. I don't want to spend hours editing it, so, yeah, thanks for watching my stupid little rant thingy. So, thank you, bye-bye.